All right, guys, welcome to another video. I used to do video games professionally for a living. I used to have a YouTube channel. It was Big Nash Gaming. I think I probably still have some WoW Mage Guides out from literally well over a decade ago. Since then, I have moved down to Florida. I opened a bunch of gyms. I now own a franchise company. I own 3 corporate stores, a bunch of franchises. I also own a supplement company. I own a trafficking charity. I own a wine company. And I don't get to play video games a lot. That being said, it is literally my hobby. Okay, so while a lot of rich people play golf, or a lot of successful people go to parties and travel and vacation and do all that, I have 2 kids, young boys, who both love video games, and so it's a really cool thing for me. So obviously, I played Diablo 3, just so you guys know what I've been doing for the last 12 years. I played every season of Diablo 3 since Reaper of Souls, basically. Took a couple seasons off there, and then pretty much from 10, 12 on, I played every single season. I played the beta, did some other testing. I even did some Reaper of Souls testing back in the day, because I used to do it on Twitch and YouTube and all that before Twitch and YouTube were really that cool to do, right? So back in the days of Bajira and Swifty and WoW and all that. So that's kind of my background on video games. That being said, obviously, as you can see, I do play some Diablo, right? So I have every class level to 100 in season 1. Okay, I named my Barb Dread. If you get the reference, cool. But basically, guys, I play dot builds mainly. That's one of my favorite things. So I'm gonna let a tier 100 go through here so that you can watch it play. Okay, so I'm just gonna restart this from the beginning of the dungeon, and just let that play through. I talk about season 2, but basically, guys, season 2 is they're doing a ton of stuff to a lot of the damage multipliers, but dot builds are about to go bananas. They're about to be really good. Obviously, in season 1, as you can see, you almost have to run the Barber. I did kill Uber Lilith on this build. Obviously, without it, I did it with the damage over time dot. I also did it with the Barber, and then I've done it on every other class because it's super easy, obviously, with Bulwark being broken, and then Barbarian, Berserker ripping. But I wanted to go over what I really think as far as some of the classes, just based on what I'm going to play and what I really see with the meta. And obviously I show you, some of this footage in the background because I want you to understand that I know what the hell I'm talking about. I've obviously put in the hours to get every single class to 100 on season 1, and I'm playing primarily dot builds in every one. So Poison Landslide, Berserk Ripping, Whirlwind Barb, just basically with the bleeds, right? Berserk Bleed. I'm playing, obviously, as you can see here, Twisting Blades Poison. And then for Shadow, I made my own kind of Shadow Necromancer build that clears tier 100s as well. It just takes a little bit longer, but the damage output is bananas on the Necro. I'm not really playing any thing like that. So I'm going to go back to this screen, and I'm going to go through each class really quickly. Explain to you what I think, what I'm excited to try in season 2. First thing, obviously, with the experience being way better, right? That's going to allow me to level these characters far faster than I did, because if you guys have been playing, so I hit all of these before the crazy increases that they've done during season 1. So I haven't actually touched this game in about 3 weeks, and I still have all these. And remember, I'd only get to play maybe an hour a day, maybe an hour or 2 a day. So when I do play, obviously, I try to min-max and just be very structured in what I'm doing. So I watch a lot of content while I'm on the treadmills or while I'm working out, et cetera, so that I know kind of what the fastest ways are, what the most beneficial things are to do. That being said, guys, I want to go through these really quickly with you. So Rogue, this is probably going to be my main. I'm not going to lie. If I had to really put these classes in order, I'm actually excited about all 5 classes in season 2. Like, honestly, truly, I'm going to explain why. But for rogues, I am super excited about Poison with some of the new season 2 things that are coming out. I think it's going to be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal for the rogue. I think the dot builds with the traps, with the ultimate cooldowns, I'm probably going to make just as it stands right now. We now have had both the fireside chats, and I've watched and I've read through the patch notes. I'm a big math person, so I love to do math, which is why I enjoy this video game, because if you enjoy math and analytics, it's a really cool game to play. But basically with the rogue, I really like the idea of Shadow Clone and poison damage, right? So just based on some of the seasonal powers, some of the legendary affixes, some of the buffs, and some of the ways that they're doing things and some of the uber uniques, etc. I really think that there's going to be some really cool potential there with poison, dot damage, obviously, with the trap being buffed during the season, and then imbuements with them not really touching bursting venoms and making it easier. I think obviously things like attack speed, lucky hit, poison damage, core skills, things like that. I think it's going to be a great build, super fun. There's some really cool seasonal powers that I want to get into with some of the ultimate cooldown reductions and some of the evades applying curses. I just think there's going to be, and a lot of the tanky health stuff too. I really think there's going to be some cool builds for the rogue. But that being said, I'm a primary dot damage player. I enjoy dot damage builds. So that's what I'm going to play. And with the rogue, I'm definitely leveling a rogue first. I just think with the amount of cool stuff they have, with the amount of adjustments that they've made to dot classes, with the amount that they've nerfed monsters, really, I think that dot damage builds are going to shine extremely high in Season 2, just with the crit and vul nerfs, because we don't really care about those anyway. So it's awesome, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. Next up of classes is, I'm just going to go right through them. On this sheet is my Necromancer. As you can see, I obviously have paid Blizzard a decent chunk of change because every single one of these is a bought skin. And yes, I get that. So you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. You're somebody watching a video game video. So I hope you love it. Hope you comment. Hope you talk to me. Hope you let me know what your builds are. Hope you subscribe to the channel. If you need supplements, weightnutrition.com. I made one called The Shit. That's actually for gamers. Okay, so check that one out. It's a nootropic. I have ADHD, so I don't take ADHD medication because I don't want to abuse it. And I had a problem with that back in the day, so I made my own product. But that being said, Necromancer. I think there's going to be an awesome shadow build. I think with minions, I've already been looking through some of the buffs to minions. I think there's going to be some really cool minion builds. That being said, this is probably going to be, even though I really enjoy my shadow dot build that I created that isn't really found in any guides anywhere right now, I really enjoy it. I think it's tons of possibilities. Obviously, with some of the group up mechanics going away, I'll be curious to see how that goes. But I'm really excited about the shadow damage. That being said, Necromancer, probably the pros are going to be with the new resistances and them being an int-based class, and obviously scaling dot damage with int and speed. I think Necro is going to be a really great class to play. I'm just not all that excited about it just because they have the worst mobility. I know that they're doing some things to fix that. But like comparatively, when I was leveling my rogue compared to this guy, it was night and day. Rogue was so much more easy to level. So that being said, I'm definitely more excited about my rogue than my necro. But the shadow damage over time builds, I think are going to be awesome. And obviously, if you enjoy playing minion builds, I think you're going to have a great time there. Druid. Again, there's not really a ton of like dot damage with Druid. Obviously, you know, Poison Landslide. Right now, Bulwark's broken. I'm not really playing Bulwark. I'm playing Poison Landslide, clearing 100 super easy. Super tanky builds. I actually really enjoyed leveling with the Druid. I thought it was one of the most fun leveling experience just because of the power ramp. So if you guys haven't leveled these classes yet, basically Rogue, right out of the box, super quick, super fun to play. You really start to get it super fast pace. It's very, if you're a clicky person, it's super fun. I would definitely recommend playing it. Necro, again, it's pretty good. The damage scale at the top is bananas, but again, just as an overall leveling experience, not that fun to me as comparatively to some of these other classes. Druid, I thought was an absolute blast. I absolutely love leveling Druid. I think going into the next season, obviously, I think Pulverize is going to just destroy, and I think it's going to be by far the best build. So I will probably level my Druid last, mainly because I'll watch guys like Mods and probably some of the other guys who really do great jobs with Druids typically. I'll probably watch them play Druid and see kind of what builds emerge, and that'll probably be the last class I level, just because there's not like a true dot class with them. It's more either companions or just, you know, insane damage with things like Pulverize. So there is obviously the Poison Shred and things like that. So there are builds in there, but that being said, I just think there's going to be builds that aren't dot in the Druid class that are going to be so much more fun that again, me being a dot-based player, probably not going to level that one anytime soon. Probably going to be the last class I level, even though it, from a leveling experience, one of the most fun ones that there is. Sorcerer. So I played a sorcerer. If you could see behind my head, you'd see my 100 Eternal Realm sorcerer. Okay. But basically, guys, with the sorcerer, I think there's going to be some conjuration builds that are going to be epic. I think it's going to be so much fun playing with some of the fire, some of the conjuration builds, with all the different little buffs that they've kind of put in there, and some of these legendaries and seasonal powers. I'm really actually excited about sorcerer from a conjuration standpoint, because obviously sorcerer's the main dots would be fire, and while there is some cool stuff that could go on with that, and obviously some buffs to Hydra, but I really think there's going to be a conjuration build that's going to be broken and going to be some of the most fun to play, just based on some of the buffs I've seen and some of the things that they're doing, especially with some of the damage multipliers between fire, cold, lightning. I think it's going to be really cool. So Mage, obviously super fast, easy out of the box when you're leveling. Obviously, fire and lightning, using your firebolt and getting that the lightning, chain lightning is obviously never going to suck for leveling. It's super fast. Obviously, with the Hydra buffs, I think chain lightning Hydra leveling is going to be super easy, super fun, super quick, teleport all over. And obviously, this again being an imp-based class, it's probably going to be, the new resistances are probably going to make this class super, super powerful with the resistances right out of the box. They will probably have to adjust resistances based on the sorcerer and possibly the necro, but sorcerer for sure. So obviously, if they do a great job with resistances, it won't be an issue. But if they don't, resistances might be like broken for these classes. So who knows? Finally, the Barb. The Barb is probably going to be. I really like the changes that they made with not messing with Berserk ripping and not messing with bleed damage and actually increasing dot damage. I think bleed's a dot, right? If I remember correctly. So I think there's going to be some Whirlwind, Wrathful Berserker with some of the powers, and the double dipping into Berserk, and the way that they changed the chest. The unique chest to do what it does and actually do better damage, and the skill cooldown on it. I think there's going to be some, it's going to be right out of the box. You're going to have your 3 shouts. You're going to have your Wrath of the Berserker. You're going to spin to win, and you're going to just bleed everything to death and just run through everything rampantly. Super fun playstyle. My only real caveat, or my only real complaint about, spin to win with Bleed Zerker, because it's super fun, is it's actually a deterrent to stop and pick things up, because you lose how things work. And I know that they're changing a lot of how that stuff goes. So I'll be curious how the play style is, and that's why I'm not leveling it first, because I want to watch guys like Rob level theirs. I want to see what some of the other Barb players that I follow, because there's a few really good Barb guys on YouTube and Twitch, that while I play, I'll typically just lurk in the background. I'm that lurker, by the way. So anybody in Twitch, if you're like, man, there's so many people in my Twitch and they don't talk, I'm one of those lurkers. Okay, so just FYI. That being said, super excited to level the Barb. I think in order of what I'm excited to level and what I will level, it'll be Rogue first. That's definitely going to be my main. I think there's just so much potential to build out some really cool dot builds within Rogue, and just how powerful Rogue is to begin with, and the amount of things they didn't mess with. I think there's going to be some really cool things that come out with the seasonal powers, and it's going to make for some really fun gameplay, and obviously be able to get you farming the new end game. So definitely Rogue first. After that, I'm probably going to go Barb, only because of the fact that I really enjoy the bleed, spin to win, Zerk, and all the things that they're doing with that. The changes to the uniques, that new helmet looks bananas. So I'm very, very curious how that's going to play. And then from there, it'll probably be Sorcerer, and then Necro, and then Druid. So that's my leveling trick. So basically, guys, if I move these guys around, it's going to look like this, right? So I'm going to do my rogue, barb, sorcerer, necro, druid, and that will be how I level this season. But yeah, guys, let me know what build you're going to play. Let me know what you think about the new dot stuff that they're doing. Obviously, the nerfs to crit and vuln, I really don't think matter to me because that's not my playstyle anyway. So I'm super excited for Season 2 for people like me who enjoy building dot builds and integrating different skills and how they work with math. I think if you don't want like a mindless build, I think this is going to be a great season for you to tinker and to create things that end up being super powerful. So I'm really excited about it. But let me know what your thoughts are on Season 2 in the comments. Have a great day. See ya.